let me ask you something. With all the distractions that you have off the field, how are you able to keep focused on winning football games as you do and do throughout the year?
When you have great coaches, then after you have great coaches, you get great players. You have a great organization, and you tell them one thing: just win, baby.
Marketing group come up with that for him. Those were his phrases that he came up with, that he believed in.
Just win. Play hard. Try not to make mistakes. But don't worry about mistakes, because there's only one thing that counts. Just win.
Welcome to another episode of the 2-for-1 Nation podcast. I'm one of your hosts, man. SC, also SC Raiders Talk, and my boy, man, again got it right. Hey, home of the Brown Crackers, my boy here, man. Other half of the 2-for-1, my boy Raider Twuan in the building. What's good, Twuan?
Hey, what's good? Y'all know what it is. Y'all know what I'm about to say. It's two brothers for one nation, and you know it's the Raider Nation.
Raider Nation.
Blessings to everybody out there. 2-for-1 Nation podcast.
Yeah, shout out to everybody that's in here so far, man. Hopefully everybody had a great little week. You know, it was the worst possible outcome. I will say that I think personally, for me, you feel me? The Chiefs, I just have such a hatred towards them. But at the end of the day, you know, sometimes things are bigger than football, man. My condolences out there to their. I don't know if y'all heard about the news over there during their parade, man. Some lives were lost, some were injured, and some kids too. So at the end of the day, man, some things are bigger than football, man. My condolences out there to them, man. Prayers up for Kansas City over there. But besides that, of course, the Super Bowl, the worst possible teams in our home are there. But there's a lot to take from that. I think a lot of motivation for the Raiders moving forward, especially after a little bit of words that were said by people like Max Crosby, saying that if there's one team that should beat the Chiefs, it should be us instead of anybody else. So it's going to be interesting. But besides that, hopefully everybody had a week. How was your Super Bowl weekend, Dwan? How was your weekend, man? Your week?
Man, it was splendiferous. You know what I'm saying? It was wonderful. For those that don't know, I live in the Bay Area, so you know.
I feel that.
Looking at some of these bang bang Niner gang folks, you know, with sad faces, you know, put a little smile on this Raiders face. You know what I'm saying? I there was a lot of people that before the Super Bowl, you know, because again, us Raiders, we were our Raider stuff every day, so they knew I was a Raider fan. So they all, you know, they wanted to rub it in, you know, saying, "Oh, we about to be in y'all guys' stadium, y'all about," and what happened? Y'all got smacked around, and not only smacked around, but you guys choked again. And this is the third time y'all went to the Super Bowl and lost.
Pretty crazy, man. Shout out to Robert Penna in the building. What's good? Raider Paul in the building. What's good, Paul? Good to see you, Kevin Lurker. What's good? What's good? SoCal Sal. Salute football as well. Shout out to everybody in here, man. True Raider in the building. What's good, True Raider? Good to see you. Football as well. Shout out to EJ. Said, what's good, Eric? I went to Pismo Beach and had a 16-ounce ribeye. Ooh, that sounds good right now with beer and mussels from the best steakhouse. Jackals. LOL. Didn't watch it at all. Hey, trust me, I only watched part of it, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't watch the full thing. I think I watched the second half specifically. I didn't really watch the first half, but at the end of the day, I kind of chilled, laid back for me. But that sounds like a good day, EJ. Right? There's some 16-ounce ribeye, some beer, some muscles, man. That sounds good right there. And at the beach, yeah. Because the 49ers lost highest volume of DV calls to the police over Sunday and Monday, shaking my head. God, yeah. Shout out to Gord Peterson. Um, yeah, it was pretty interesting that Super Bowl, man. My family is conducted of three parts when it comes to the NFL, right? And what I mean by three parts is one side, one third is Cowboy fans, the other third is Niner fans, and then the other third are the Raider fans, which is me, my brother, and a couple others. So it's pretty interesting how it went down. It was pretty funny, actually. Uh, you feel me? Like, it's good to laugh at people, but at the same time, hey, hopefully this gives the Raiders motivation to not let that happen again. And at the end of the day, it's good motivation for us, and we'll talk about it right now. Actually, let's go straight into it, right? Kind of speaking on that, right? There was a lot of press conferences, y'all know, when somebody um wins the Super Bowl or loses the Super Bowl. Usually, a press conference gets held either way. They talked to Andy Reid, and he pretty much said, I texted him, which he's talking about texting Antonio Pierce. Hey, beautiful. He texted him, hey, beautiful facility. First of all, and I appreciate you for kicking the tail because you taught us a lesson. So now it's confirmed because a lot of the rumors were like the Chiefs turned it around when we beat them, which it looked like it did. And Andy Reid confirms it there himself, texting Antonio Pearson. I feel like that's something to build on for the Raiders. The fact that we were the last team to beat them, pretty much, with the rookie quarterback, with the rookie offensive coordinator, with the interim head coach. That's something to build on moving forward. What you feel about that? You think it's a momentum swing into 2024, or
You know me, I like to look at both points of views, both sides of the fence, however you want to call it. And it is definitely, like you said, it definitely is a positive thing in our favor. But also on the other side of that, just another point of view is that it's going to have we're going to have to work harder.
yeah,
And the reason why we're going to have to work harder is because last year teams might have slept on us. You know what I'm saying? They might have been like, oh, we're going to, if there's one week that I could, still play a game, but not really work as hard. Okay, it's the Raiders. You know what I'm saying? I'm just going, we're going to we're going to sleep through this and still win the game. You know what I'm saying? But that wasn't the case, especially at the end of the season, under AP. We were on a different level. We were on a
yeah,
different vibe. We were on a whole different intensity. And I think, again, that was a indicator not just for Andy Reid for this year, but going into next year, he's going to be like, hey, look, you guys know what we did last year and we slept against the Raiders. They ain't the Raiders that we've been accustomed to. We're gonna have to strap it up and get to work. And I
yeah,
think a lot of teams are going to have that same, intensity going against us. So that means we're gonna have to work even harder to you know, to win out these games. And I think we still can. I think, again, if we start getting the pieces and everything that we need, I think we'll be even a stronger team. But it ain't like we're gonna surprise anybody.
yeah.
I think next year. I think everybody's going to expect, you know, whether we're a good team or not, that we're going to come out there and we're going to try to punch you in the mouth.
Facts, man. Shout out to Egalitarian joining us. Was good. Um, Shout out to True Raider says Reed just rubbing it in. He and me and none of it. I think he means it for Antonio Pierce. I don't think as far as the Raiders. I do think he's rubbing it into the Raiders, but I think he's not rubbing it in Antonio Pierce's face, if that makes sense. It's something about Antonio Pierce that you just can't hate the guy, man. I think any team can't hate them. Like, there's nothing to hate about Antonio Pierce, man. Yeah, he talks smack sometimes, stuff like that, but like it's not extreme like others. It's not like he's not disrespectful in certain cases. He gives props. He does this. He's a player's coach. People love him, man. And if you guys haven't seen the pivot, the recent episode with him on it, oh my god, what a podcast! I'ma say, bro. They had Antonio Pierce as a special guest, and the questions they asked him, man, you kind of see more deeper than what we already know. the usual things we know about Antonio Pierce, players coach. He's for the players, for the people. I mean, that's normal, right? That's the things we already heard. But he kind of goes into depth about his life, his life growing up, um, his mom, and everything else, and it kind of gets you a more idea into his head. I see how he thinks, how he goes about things, and I'll tell you one thing, man. He also explains how the whole process happened, from him being head coach and even interim coach, and how that day happened when Josh McDaniels was fired, how that day was conducted. Hey, it's a must watch, y'all. It's an hour. It's not bad at all. I promise you, it's not a waste of an hour, man. It's a good one. And I learned a lot about him more, and it kind of makes me more excited just for Raiders football in general, man. I'm not gonna come out here and scream, "Oh, we're going to the Super Bowl next year," and hell no. But I am saying, at the end of the day, man, we're gonna take a step forward, man. There's no more 5 steps, 10 steps back no more, and this is the first step moving forward. So it's kind of interesting. Shout out to Cool Kev. What's good, Cool Kev? Um, and shout out
Yeah,
to Gord Peterson. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah. I watched the podcast too, and I felt the same way that you felt. I think we're still, everything's still new and everything's still fresh in regards to really getting to know who AP is as a player, as a person, all of that, even as a head coach, right? And that podcast definitely explained to me a lot of the why of certain things, even the early things that he's doing with this team and the early things that we've already kind of seen with him in dealing with this team. That podcast gave a little of the why he does certain
Yeah,
things, and it explains everything. Like it, you were talking about how right now there's really nobody that can. I mean, there is haters out there, and there's just haters just to be haters. But when AP's out there talking, he really toes the line. You know what I'm saying? It's in a sense where he does it in a banter, a friendly, what I'm saying, sports type of banter where it's like, hey, he's playing the game. You know what I'm saying? And you can't be mad at someone playing the game. And
yeah,
you know, I definitely, if you guys have not, go check that out because it'll explain a lot of what we're seeing now, even with the offensive coordinator, the situation with Kingsbury. He even broke that down too. So
mm,
go ahead and check that out.
and not facts. And after all, um, this guy knows what it is to be a Raider. He grew up a Raider, man, and he connects to us and he connects to the players and stuff like that. And like I said, it's a step forward, man, and it's all about, as you guys can see from the title, the Raiders' vision, man, and the whole vision is to hoist that Lombardi, win the AFC West, and that's the vision, man. And I love that the way he says it. He's not promising it, but he's saying that's our vision. Like that's where they're headed to. But before we get to another question, on the forefront of the Raiders coming up, of course, like you guys know, the combine's around the corner. Um, Also, free agency is next month, and then it's the draft, which is an eventful next 2 months. Let me just get this Raider news out the way. They hired Antonio Pierce's son as one of the on the coaching staff. Had a little bit of experience with San Cal Poly San Luis Bo, I think.
Yeah,
I think he was there. I think he was also somewhere else. I forgot where else. And then also James Craig, which if you guys don't know who James Craig is, the offensive line coach, he was the assistant offensive line coach for the Niners. Also worked with LSU. So a little bit, the Niners offensive line was pretty good in the last couple of years. So um, that's a decent hiring. I gotta look into more about him, but that's a Raider news out the way. If you guys didn't know, we had two more additions to the squad. But something that has been speculating, rumor mill, different people talking about it, is about the draft, being aggressive. I mean, the question I'm gonna give it to you, Twan. Will the Raiders move up during the draft, and will it be worth it if they pull the trigger?
I would say yeah.
Hmm. What quarterback you think?
I like Daniels, and
Mhm.
I think a lot of things are leading towards that.
Mhm.
Um, but there's something with those top three quarterbacks,
Yeah.
whether it's Drake May, whether it's right now, that's the census. We know that can change. I'm saying the combine can something can happen at the combine. A pro day can go. A pro day can not look like a pro day. you know, all that can change it. But right now, yeah, yeah, it's time for us to go up and get that quarterback.
And yeah, you know what's interesting about this year's playoffs? If you guys look at the starting quarterbacks of this year's playoffs, it's nothing but first round picks, first round quarterbacks that were in the playoffs this year, and a first round quarterback won the Super Bowl. The only I think the only quarterback, if I have my statistics right and stuff like that, um, I think the only quarterback that was out of the first round in this year's playoffs has been Brock Purdy. I think Brock Purdy's one. Brock Purdy was the seventh round pick, I believe, or like six, something around that line.
He's seven.
So of course Brock Purdy is one of them that was not a first rounder. Um, I believe Mahomes was a first rounder, 10th. Lamar Jackson was a first rounder, late first. Trying to think of the other quarterbacks real quick. Um, CJ Stroud was the first quarterback. Joe Flacco, I believe, was in the first round. Let me actually double check that. Let me see. It's not showing. Why is it not showing? Yeah, he was the 18th pick. So far, yeah, it looks like majority of them were first rounders, except for Brock Purdy, of course. And then look what happened. When he was under pressure, he couldn't do it. So that's just something to look at. I'm not saying that's guaranteed every year. It's not. At the end of the day, a lot. There's a higher bust rate for first round in general, first round prospects in general, it's a higher bust rate than somebody in the fourth round, and that's of course because they get picked in the first round. They got to play like the first round, and when they don't, it's not looking too good. And it's all about the system too. But that was just something to throw out there, for you guys at the end of the day, about this year's playoffs. That was interesting. But for me, I've been a Jaden Daniels fan. I've been watching a lot of film on him. Um, and I've been watching a lot of it, and after all, I really enjoyed watching his tape. You kind of have your favorites. When you're watching tape, you're kind of like, oh damn, that guy is somebody that I might be vouching for the whole time of the draft. He's one of those. Yeah, his build is a little bit slim, but at the end of the day, um he's got the capability, the accuracy. I think he has a higher ceiling than a lot of them. I think he's younger than Michael Penix, Bo Nix. I think he's younger than him. um he fits perfect with the Raiders. I mean, he's familiar with Antonio Pierce, so he's gonna play every day to his fullest. But he's gonna be in the top three. I mean, top four maybe. You have Washington that's gonna obviously maybe go Caleb. Justin Fields. I mean, it looks like he might be staying in Chicago. It's still a question mark over there. But if they stick with Justin Fields, obviously they're going to go offensive line or wide receiver first. So that means or trade back. Um, and then obviously you have Washington and New England, which are both also quarterback guys. Giants are also a team that could possibly not go with DeVito and go a different route. Um, there's just a lot of things to do, right? At the end of the day, um, I think they will move up. I think they'll try to move up. I'll say that. I think they'll try to move up, and will it be worth it? I just don't know, man. They have to give up a lot to be in that top three, and now with how the NFL is, a lot of people be asking for more in the draft. So I don't know how they're gonna do it. I just hope that we get the quarterback of the future, man. You feel me? I just hope you know. Shout out to everybody that's coming in here real quick, man. Shout out to Raider Way in the building. Go Raider Way. Good to see you, man. Shout out to Randy. How many of the first overall were in the playoffs and with the team that drafted them? I gotta look at the statistic. I gotta look at that. I think if not half of them, I gotta think of that because Joe Flacco was not drafted with the Browns. CJ Stroud was obviously drafted with the Texans. Lamar Jackson was obviously drafted with the Ravens. Um, I'm trying to think. Brock Purdy, of course, is the seventh round, so he's out of the picture. Patrick Mahomes was drafted by the, so it's like half. I would say half right now. I gotta look of it, but at the end of the day. JD isn't a can't miss quarterback. That's a fact, man. Shout out to Jaw Raider Circus and your Quinn Ewers in 2024. Shout out to Lake Show in the building. What's good, Lake Show? Shout out to the Lakers, man. They're on a roll now, finally. Um, but yeah, shout out to everybody, man. Um, and then Raider Paul says Jaden don't fit our system. Here's the thing with the Getsy system, right? The Getsy system is an interesting system, right? Uh, Not first rounders, but first overall or even top three. Oh yeah, that's a whole different discussion when it comes to top three. um, I was just talking about the whole first round. I wasn't talking about the first top three, but yeah, the top three I think is different. I think just CJ Stroud. I think the rest of them have been 10th, 11th, 13th. I gotta look at the rest of them. Um, but shout out to Snoops Hernandez. But obviously, I think Jaden does fit the system. I think he can be fitting the system. It's just interesting. It's like it's hard to judge him on Chicago, right? Chicago's blaming everything on Getsy, but you kind of see Justin Fields' fault, man. You kind of see a little bit of Justin Fields' fault, man. What you think, man? You think Jaden fits our system? How you feeling about the offensive system?
I unfortunately, Paul, I disagree with you. I believe that Jaden does fit the system, and the reason why he fits the system is because a lot of people don't look at this. And if you want to go back and check out my video on our offensive coordinator, when you look at the quarterbacks he's worked with, they're all different styles of quarterbacks. You had Aaron Rodgers, you had Tyler Badgett, you had Jordan Love, you had obviously Justin Fields. When you look at just those four quarterbacks alone that he's worked with, they're all different styles of quarterbacks when you really break them down. So when you look at Jaden Daniels, he has the elusiveness and the speed of Justin Fields, but he can also throw the ball down the field like some of the other quarterbacks that Getsy has worked with. So when you look at the totality of Luke Getsy's offense, it's not only where you can have a mobile quarterback, but you can also have a pocket passer, and that offense will still be able to function. Now the question is, how Luke Getsy wants to run his offense. You know what I'm saying? Does he want the athletic quarterback, or does he really just want someone to stay in, kind of be stationary in the pocket? And that's what we're gonna have to figure out. But if you're asking me, a guy that can fit it and have that flexibility where he can sit in the pocket but also get out of the pocket when need be, uh, I think
Yeah,
one of the best ones smoking is Jaden Daniels.
I feel that, man. Let me get to some of these comments. I see some questions. Yo, see, what's your opinion if we moved up to number one in the draft? If we had an opportunity to pick between JD and Caleb Williams, who would you take? So you're saying hypothetically, or number one, who would you pick? This is tough. This is actually tough because as much as I've been a little bit down on Caleb Williams this season, the guy like the guy's the youngest. I think the youngest of the bunch. Not only that, the guy has a high potential. I mean, the thing is with Caleb Williams, when you really look at his tape, you kind of see backyard football, and you see that's why a lot of people compare him to Patrick Mahomes because Patrick Mahomes plays backyard football. When you give him time, he does these sidearm throws, he
Mhm.
back foots it, he dive throws. That's what Caleb Williams does. He's one of those guys that has been playing with a horrible O line, except for last year when he won the Heisman. He got some good offensive linemen, like Andrew Vorse, which he went to the Ravens, obviously. One of the first offensive linemen picked in the last year's draft. And look, he won the Heisman with them. And then he had some good receivers this year, but his defense was ranked, it was like in the hundreds. Imagine you saying that your team has the 116th ranked defense. How would you feel? 116th rank. So he's played with a bad O line this season, a bad defense, but also um, he had good receivers. So you could take the most from it. Jaden Daniels had one of the historic seasons, man. The guy rushed for more than 1,000 yards. He scored double-digit touchdowns rushing. He scored more than 40 touchdowns in passing, more than 3,000 yards passing. Um, and he did it with a couple good receivers and my neighbors just went into the draft too, so that's another one to understand. But you're asking me if who would I pick between them? I think just because of our system and just because Caleb Williams is more of that player's coach, it, if if that makes sense, like a strict, he only works with certain coaches. Um, I think Caleb's best fit was Cliff Kingsbury. I think that's why Cliff Kingsbury got the job over there in Washington. A part of it was he wants Caleb Williams. I mean, as much as people say it was the contract, it was the contract too. But also Caleb Williams is available for them. For me, I think JD better. He has got more ties to the Raiders, Antonio Pierce, stuff like that. And at the end of the day, just like John Rader said here, man, he played in the West Coast offense in Arizona State, which that's what Luke Getzey runs. So he's got the little familiarity with double, right? And then obviously, I'm gonna give you this one, Twan, and then I'll say it after. He says, "I understand that, but my problem is trading with the future of any of these top three. So, for any of the top three, you think, Twan, that it's worth to do multiple first round picks for them, or would you just stay put?"
At this point, it's the name of the game. We have that's what it is. Whether we did it, you know what I'm saying, and I'm just saying this, hypothetically, it if we did it this year or we did it 4 years later, you know what I'm saying. If we're in the 13th spot, we still would have to trade up to go get one of the top quarterbacks. You know what I'm saying? And that's just where it's going to be regardless. And where we are as a team, I don't think we'll. Maybe I'm too much of a Raider fan, but I don't think we'll ever be drafting this high. You know what I'm saying? In the future, I think next year we'll be drafting in the 20s somewhere, or late teens. You know what I'm saying? And that's going to be based on our record. I think we're actually going to be playing better football moving forward. So that means, even with that being said, if we're playing better football moving forward and we still haven't got our quarterback, it's going to take even more draft capital to move up to go get whoever we identify as our player. Now, again, if our offensive coordinator, and this is something that maybe I'm not, I'm cool with, but this is also an option. Say our offensive coordinator says, man, I know that Drake May's up there. I know Caleb's up there. I know Daniels is up there, but there's something about Bo Nix I love. You know what I'm saying? Bo Nix is going to make this offense pop. You know what I'm saying? So, and I'm just saying this as if I'm the offensive coordinator. And if I say, oh, Bo Nix is going to make this thing pop, right? Then possibly you can stay put at get in the first round. Maybe even not even, maybe, based on how the board is running, Bo Nix may not even come off the board until the second round. So that means you can get your offensive tackle, you can get your D tackle, you know what I'm saying, with that 13th pick, and then still get your quarterback. It just is just really based on what Getzey feels like, hey, this is the guy that is going to make this pop. You know what I'm saying? And it may be, but again, for me, I would just go up and get Daniels. But it's really up to our offensive coordinator.
It's an interesting. See, this is what I like about the draft. You feel me? It's so many options. Oh my god, so many options, and you don't even know what other teams are gonna do, bro. And let me just catch up to the chat real quick before we continue. Rumors Steelers will trade for Fields. That'll be interesting. Our sister quarterback, the West Coast offensive pocket passer, not more than you throw, won't work with us. I mean, Bo Nix and Drake May fits the system. I'm not a Drake. I know this might not be a popular opinion. I'm not a Drake May fan. I know people are gonna probably hate me because a lot of people are high on Drake May. There's always every year somebody that I'm not a fan of. Last year, um, I wasn't a fan of Will Levis. I believe if that was last year. I was, and the year before that, which he did decent in Tennessee, but at the end of the day, his best game was after his girlfriend cheated on him. So you could take that for the grain of salt, if that was motivation for him that game. But he showed glimpses. I mean, he hasn't shown me up yet. I mean, I've been right about him. But there's been a couple guys I gotta remember the last 2 years. I gotta go back in my lives to see who I doubted. This year's like Drake May. I'm not saying he's like I'm like mad about him, like how it was with Will Levis. Like Will Levis, I was really pushing that I didn't want him, that he wasn't that good. Drake May is like one of those guys. Like me, I wouldn't be angry if he falls to Raiders and we get him, and I also wouldn't be happy, ecstatic, jumped off the goddamn table. Um, Jeff Hardy off the goddamn roof onto a
Mm,
table. I wouldn't be like that either. So that's just one of those guys. I still have to keep watching film on him. Maybe I'll fall in love with the tape, but
yeah. And I'll say this to OG Raider, because OG Raider was talking about Jordan Travis is better than Knicks. Hey, that Jordan Travis could be a possibility. You know what I'm saying? But I was just saying that in as an example of, if our offensive coordinator says, and I should have just used a random name. If our offensive coordinator says Blues Clues is our quarterback, you know what I'm saying? Then we gotta go get Blues Clues. You know what I'm saying? And if that's moving up to go get them, then we gotta go get them there. If it's straightened down, you know what I'm saying, or staying put, getting somebody and then waiting in the second round, and for dangling, how moving up maybe in the second round or whatever we got to do to go get the guy, then go get him. But that's where again Telesco's gonna have to make his money. You know what I'm saying, and make this work, because definitely we're in a position for a quarterback. And I think again, me and Eric have said it. I think this is the time to go get it.
shout out to DB Crypto, man. D Menace, everybody joining us, man. Uh, Shout out to OG Raiders. Draft Jordan Travis, third round. Interesting. JJ Daniels is our guy. If we get Bo Nix, you want Bo Nix, Paul? I see Paul wants Bo Nix. Shout out to everybody, man. RB running back in the fourth type stuff. Yep. Until we get an O line, we need a murder type running quarterback. That's interesting too, right? Yeah, he could get the best out of AOC too. Yeah, and if you guys, I kind of said it earlier, and I know a lot of people are joining us. Go watch the pivot. If you guys have watched the pivot with Antonio Pierce, he kind of says, "Hey, he was like, what's the worst case scenario? Going with AOC, he played better than other rookie quarterbacks. That's the worst case scenario. That's what he said. That's like the worst case scenario we could do." And he was like saying, "Hey, it's the worst case scenario, and it ain't even a bad scenario." That's what he was saying. So that's another thing, right? Um,
I
Shout out to.
I Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna catch up to chat. You could go ahead.
No, and I was going to jump in right where you're talking about. He was talking about AFC. That was a very important statement from our coach, because again he was also talking to AOC while he was doing doing that interview, letting AOC know, hey, yes, I'm gonna have some competition in here, but I also believe in you. You know what I'm saying? And it's gonna be up to AOC, whoever walks in the door. You know what I'm saying? I use Blues Clues. If Blues Clues comes in, Blues Clues is gonna have to compete with AOC, and that's what it's gonna be. And I like that. I love the fact that our head coach is saying, whoever I bring in here is going to compete. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
As much as we love Max Crosby, if we bring in a defensive lineman, there's competition there. You know what I'm saying? And that's gonna definitely make our team better.
I feel that. He said, "So Tyler, we're moving up draft crap. There are game changer players that picked their team. Telesco got the job because he supposedly has an eye for talent." I'm asking this, Charles. Who do you think will be there at 13th? I will ask you that as quarterback position. I want to know your philosophy on that. On who would be left at 13th for us to pick. I just want to see who you think will leave there. Um, but yeah, Telesco is good in the first few rounds. He is. Besides that, in the later rounds, it's usually Champ Kelly. I know they brought in a new guy under him. I forgot his name. He was under Telesco for the Chargers, so that's another guy that was helping him there. Uh, AP already made it clear he wants Daniel. I ain't worried. Where is Jared Stidham? Bears GM made it clear that they're giving Justin a 29-24 season to turn it around, or 2024 season to turn around. Offensive tackle, D tackle, and then quarterback. After this, how do you know these guys are better than a kid who won 5 games as a rookie? We don't, and that's the beautifulness. I think that's the the beautiful part about the draft, right? The question is, I mean, the answer is you don't know. We don't know. We all don't know, right? We could talk about all these players, how good they are, the potential there is, but it could be hit or miss. Um, for me, I had nothing wrong to say about AOC. I said he may not be ready right now, which that's a good assessment. I believe I made a good assessment about saying that he's not ready right now. And that's in this moment of time, February 15th, Thursday, 3:06 p.m. in the West Coast, 6:06 in the East Coast. Um, in other places, it's the AM. Um, I don't think he's ready right now to be the starting quarterback for us. But with the whole offseason, the same way Antonio Pierce with the whole offseason with a better O line. Who knows? He could be, right? Um, and I kind of loved what he said in the pivot. He kind of said, "Hey, if this is the worst case scenario, it ain't even a bad case scenario." And I'm kind of on that train too, right? I'm not in panic mode if that's the guy that we're gonna end up going because let's just say hypothetically they tried trading up, they couldn't get there, they went into the free agency, there was nobody there, and then they had to stick with AOC. I wouldn't be like, "Oh yeah, here we go, another waste of a season," like others. I wouldn't say that. I would be like, "Hey, let's see. I'm ready. I want to see what this guy got."
And let's identify the elephant in the room. We only got one quarterback. We don't want to see Hoyer. And who wants to see Jimmy G? So who's left in the quarterback room? So no matter what, we gotta get a quarterback. Whether we draft one in the later rounds, and that's gonna be someone that's just gonna be a roster filler, or we the other route is free agency, right? But you gotta. Every team has to go in with at least 3 to 4 quarterbacks. And right now, we got 1.5. You know what I'm saying? And the half is Jimmy G.
Shout out to El Capitan Rafael. What's good, Rafucho? Good to see you, man. I appreciate that 199, man. It means a lot. He says, "Salute Eric, Raider Nation for life, motherfuckers." There you go, man. Shout out to El Capitan Rafael. AOC just won 3 division games. People act like it's nothing. And that's what I was kind of saying during the season. If you go back into the lives, right? My pregame lives, especially the 2-for-1 Nation podcast, we previewed a lot of games. And I said the same thing, man. Twuan could vouch for it, man. I was never a hater of AOC, man. I never was like others saying like, "Oh, he's garbage. He can't do this. He can't do that." I always said that the potential is there, man. He showed potential. At the end of the day, he got thrown into something that he shouldn't have gotten thrown to. Um, at the end of the day, what was supposed to happen was Josh McDaniels was supposed to be this offensive guru. This team was supposed to turn it around. Um, what was supposed to happen is that Jimmy Garoppolo was the best player of all time, and that he's way better than an old quarterback because he won games and he made it to the Super Bowl. And yeah, how did that? Yeah, that did. Yeah, it wasn't any better. I'll tell you that. It was kind of like Twuan likes to say, man. We grabbed our popcorn and we seen this same shit again, over again and over again. It was like nothing different. So
same movie.
Yep. So like I said to everybody, man, the worst case scenario is AOC next year, which is not a bad case scenario. I don't even want to call it bad case scenario. I just want to call it that's plan B or plan C, whatever you want to call it.
And I've said that. Like I said, look, Aiden O'Connell is going to have competition. You know what I'm saying? We're going to have to fill out this quarterback room. And AP, our coach said, Coach AP, I have to put respect on his name. I gotta work on my vocabulary. I love saying AP, but I gotta put Coach AP on it. Coach AP said that everything that walks through that door is going to be competition. So right now, you can pencil Aiden O'Connell as our starter, but that's just him coming into training camp. You know what I'm saying? But as soon as they blow that whistle, whoever the best person, the person that's throwing them darts and handling business, that's who's going to be our starter. So yes, Aiden O'Connell has the first seat in training camp, but believe it's a competition with whoever walks through that door.
Facts, man. And y'all got your Raider socks on. Mine's over there. I don't have it on right now. I wish I did. Shout out to everybody coming in here, man. Chile in the building, man. Good to see Circus Raider. He says there's always Nathan the Goat Peterman. uh,
He's a goat.
SC Bad Organization Panic, man. Yep. And I think we have a good organization now. I think we got a good staff. We got a good staff right now. We got a good owner. I mean, a good general manager right now. I think they're gonna do the right thing, man. Whether it's trading up or sticking with AOC, they know best for us, man. We could sit here say this guy's gonna be good, this guy would be perfect, but they could go a whole different route, and that's what makes me excited. I'm excited, but I'm also nervous. Y'all know that feeling when it's like it's gonna be something good, but you just don't know what it is. So you're like, oh my god, what the fuck is gonna happen? What's gonna happen? What's gonna happen?
Mhm.
That's my feeling right now going into free agency in the draft. I'm hearing these guys say, hey, we're gonna be aggressive. We're gonna compliment everybody. We're gonna get people in free agency. Maybe make a couple trades. Who knows? Anything that's gonna help this team and get good players. Like that makes me excited. But it's like what players are they talking about? What direction are they going to go in?
I'll say this in regards to AOC too. I think no matter what, and I think you're gonna like this, Eric. No matter what, whether Aiden O'Connell is our starter or if Aiden O'Connell is our backup, guess what? Our roster got better. If if Aiden O'Connell, you know what I'm saying, if we don't get a quarterback and Aiden O'Connell is just that guy, guess what? They've drafted in other areas and our team got better. Okay? That's one. Now, if they draft a quarterback and they compete and Aiden O'Connell, you know what I'm saying, loses out to the guy that came in, we got better. Because look, ladies and gentlemen, know that Raider Twuan is not going to have a heart attack if I see Aiden O'Connell trot out there as our backup quarterback. I'm confident that if Aiden O'Connell goes out there, he ain't going to stink it up. You know what I'm saying? And we haven't had that in a while. Well, how many years have we gone where if the starting quarterback goes down, we're like, oh shit, there goes our season already. I don't feel that with Aiden O'Connell, and I know that Aiden O'Connell is going to get better because again, it was his rookie year. So let's just wait and see. And again, no matter what. You know what I'm saying? Me and Eric say it all the time. No matter who's under center, we have to build. And that's what we're doing.
Shout out to my 2 cents, man. Shout out to everybody coming in here. If I skipped you, I'm sorry. Type again, man. The chat's going crazy today, man. And I appreciate you guys always, giving me your opinions and stuff like that, man. You already know what it is, man. Here's a safe place to let me know your opinion and stuff like that, to disagree, to agree. At the end of the day, man, one thing that puts us all together is, man, we want the Raiders to succeed, man. That's the one thing that we all want. And hey, like I said, same way like Raider Way said, free agency is looking brighter for us. Same thing like I believe Randy said it. The nation is in the best hands in fucking decades, so I'll trust the direction they choose to go in, man. And that's the reality of things, man. It's like, me, like I said, I told myself last year, and I'm gonna continue to do it. I have no expectations. But one thing for sure is that I'm ready to watch some Raiders football, man. Some actual Raiders football. The identity of the Raiders, man. It's coming back, man. Everywhere from every player is saying it. Yeah, Max Crosby being more vocal now than ever, saying, "Hey, I want to be the one to take down the Chiefs. Hey, I want to do this. I want to do that." Even Antonio Pierce, his letter. I don't know if you guys read the letter. I kind of read it in the last live. I loved what he said, bro. I loved what he said because he was like, "Hey, everybody complains about us smoking cigars after a win, saying that, oh, we didn't win the Super Bowl, why are we smoking?" Stuff like that. He said, "I don't care. At the end of the day, we're Raiders. We don't care what anybody thinks." And that's the if y'all know the history, and I know everybody in here knows the history, man, and I've done my research. This was before my time. I know for a damn fact that's how it was to be a Raider back there in the 80s, 70s, 90s. It's that tough. Hey, I don't care about the league. I don't care what other fan bases think of us. I don't care what anybody thinks. We're gonna do it the Raider way. We're gonna go out there, talk our shit, back it up, and we don't gotta be liked. And that's the mentality that we lost the last 2 years, and now we got it back. So, for me, obviously, you feel me? And, and that's a fact. We're looking better, and the draft ain't even here yet. And this is Cool Kev, y'all. If y'all know Cool Kev is usually a little bit, you feel me, calling people old and kind of the negative things on certain cases. But this boy, hey, Cool Kev saying this is something huge, man. I'm telling you.
That's my dude, Cool Kev, man.
Cool Kev, man. Shout out to Cool Kev. And shout out to Mike who says Raider front office is in the base shape since Al had a solid mind, man. And rest in peace his soul, man. He built something for us, and now it's time to continue it. And you feel me? Um, Essie Fergal Davis was there. Didn't die. I was still, I believe, yeah. When Al Davis was still alive, I was understanding football. So I'm good. I seen it, but I was like in his later days. Obviously, rest in peace. Like I said, but at the end of the day, he built a culture, man, and the culture got lost a little. Now it's back. Now it's back. So, hey, it's all about just winning, man. That's the mentality. Just win, baby. That's it. Shout out to everybody though, man. Good to see everybody. Hope all is well. And if you guys can't hit that like button, subscribe if you're new. We're simulcasted on both channels, the SC Raiders Talk and also Raider Twuan channel, man. The links are in the description as well. Um, and also Nightbot and stuff like that. We'll send it to her exclamation mark to Discord for me exclamation mark Discord to join the Discord when I'm live. Also, my Instagram is popping up there. Also for Twan, he's got a couple of you wanna discuss your exclamation marks on your channel?
Oh man, on my channel is simply we have two. I have one for being an organ donor. If you're interested in being an organ donor, all you have to do is put exclamation point DON in the chat. Don, that's right, exclamation point DON. That'll give you the link to being an organ donor. If you're on the SC channel, definitely you can always come over to Raider Twuan, subscribe, but also look down in the description and you'll find the link on how to be an organ donor. If you're just interested in getting the information, it's also there too. And then also you can hit me up on IG. And the way you can hit me up on IG is if you're on live, exclamation point pray. That's right. Exclamation point PRAY. And that will give you my IG. And then you can message me if you have a question about being a donor, or if you have something that you want me to pray for, in your life. If there's something like if you're praying for a job, or, you have a family member that's sick or whatever, hit me up and then I can, be in prayer for you and your family member.
Facts, man. Shout out to everybody, man. Nutty Raider Nate in the building was good. Nutty Raider Nate, good to see you, man. Good to see everybody coming in here. We have a coach that's for the players, not the last two coaches that was all about them. No, that's a fact, man. At the end of the day, Gruden, it did look like it was going up, but at the end of the day, he was more about him and the way he wants it. Same with Josh McDaniels, dictatorship, pretty much. And now you have somebody that's for the players, man, and the players feel comfortable to be around him. So I know for a damn fact we're gonna get some free agents um that are good, man. So shout out to everybody, man. Good to see everybody in here, man. If you guys can't hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, and we're just talking about the draft right now. A little bit of the Raiders vision going into the draft. The combine's right around the corner, so stay tuned for that, y'all. I'll be live every day, every day. And watching the combine with you guys, man. You draft your meat and potatoes players, D tackle, O line. I have some very good offensive tackles that I love, man, that could play the right tackle spot, man. One of them is from Alabama. If you guys know him, J.C. Lathman. I'm looking at my notes right now. And then Fuaga from Oregon State is another one that I really enjoyed. I also like Joe Alt from Notre Dame. I know that Fashawn best offensive tackle out there, but he's obviously going to go before us, I think. So somebody like Joe Alt, J.C. Lathman, Fuaga are all three good offensive linemen that I like. I think J.C. Lathman fits the best for the right tackle spot. And then you said D tackle, right?
Yeah.
I like Jermaine Newton, but he's a little bit. The problem with him, I really enjoyed his tape, but he's like shorter, less weight. Like
Mm.
he's 6'2",
It's
man.
kind of
Six
light.
295. He's kind of light for that. I also like that boy from Miami, man, Leonard Taylor the third. I like him a lot, but you'll probably get him in the second. And I also like Darius Robinson from Missouri, man. If you guys know him, he's a 6'5", 296-pound guy. A senior there. Another guy that would be there. If you go with the AOC route, or if you go with another route, or if they some way trade up and they didn't even have to give up their 13 pick some way somehow. Um, obviously that's another guy in the D tackle room that I like. And then obviously I have others in other positions, right? If you want wide receivers, I really like people like Troy Franklin. I like people like Jake Jalen McMillan from Washington. I like people like Xavier Worthy from Texas. Romeo Dunze is one of my favorites, man. And then obviously Malik Neighbors from LSC is another one. Just a couple names out there for you guys to know.
I think, and even with the offensive line and D line, I was encouraged. Even and Eric was talking about a lot of the guys that are, it seems like they may be on the top end of the draft, but there was a lot of guys that were at the Senior Bowl. There was a lot of guys at the Senior Bowl that are going to be kind of in that later round, what I'm saying, offensive line and D line that actually are good too. So, of course it would be great to, get everybody, high in the draft, but it's good to know that if we needed still to address the offensive line or the D line, we can also address those things in the later rounds. The group for me, and I have to go back and dig a little more on that group, that looks like it's a little short in talent is the corners. I think the corners, I think it's kind of like you have like your top end one couple, and then everything else is just, so I don't know what we're gonna do if you're looking at a corner per se. Now, if they there might be someone they do like. There might be a guy they're really pounding on the table for in the later rounds that that we're not looking at. But for me, I think if we want to get a corner, we might have to spend on that.
Facts, man. Darius is up down. Shout out to ACG, man. He's hyped because of Senior Bowl. I think he's a good enough player. I don't think the first round though. I don't have him projected as the first round. I liked him at the Senior Bowl, obviously. But for me, he's more of a second, third round guy. I don't think he's in the first round. I know some people project him in the first round. For me personally, he's somebody that I would take in the second, third if he's there. But the first, I don't think the first. For me, the first is like people that I know for sure could instantly make an impact. And that's a couple of the offensive tackles for me. Just a little tiny bit of the defensive tackle room. Not much, and there's multiple receivers, but I don't know if we're gonna go for receiver number one. I think most likely it would be either a quarterback or an offensive line. If I were to predict the route they'll go for the Raiders, it'll be quarterback or offensive lineman for me. Uh, Shout out to
Hmm.
everybody, man. And how? Oh my God, I forgot about my boy Brandon Rice, man. What the hell is wrong with me, bro? Brandon Rice, man. That boy. I don't know. There might be a little bit USC bias for me, bro, but I like Brandon Rice, man. I don't know how I forgot about him. Um, and yeah, obviously, Bennett might be overrated. Talk about the cornerback on our team, right? Jacorian Bennett. I know whatever happened to him. They kind of didn't really play him after we had like Jack Jones and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think he just needs a little more time. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it for certain players it takes a little more, and he got some hype. Uh, during the off season, which was surprising, and then all of a sudden he just was not. Um, but yeah, he's under cheap labor. We ain't gotta, people are so quick to get rid of him. Like, nah, we got him under contract. His contract ain't expensive. he can be our last corner on the roster. So definitely let that mature out, and who knows, he might turn around.
I feel that's corny. That class is deep. Nate Wiggins, that boy from Clemson, man. I like that boy from Clemson. Um, let me see. Brendan Rice is underrated. Bennett needs more development. Yeah, obviously. It was his first year last year, man. I don't blame him. He's got a 1 year under his belt. He's going to continue, try to get better. Um, Ricky Parshall, Roman Wilson will get a look, but they are the best in the class. Are you talking about wide receivers? I'm not sure if you're talking about Brandon receivers.
Yeah.
Brandon Rice is starting to get a lot of hype. He's starting to get a lot of picked up. But for me, um, I, me personally, I have him not in the first round. Me personally, just me personally. But obviously, a lot of other people, a lot of other scouts in the draft or in the NFL are probably gonna have him as a first round talent, man. I think so. I think some people have him as a draft board as a first round talent. For me, I don't have him there yet. That could all change, obviously, but I don't think he's first round yet. But obviously, I have a couple others that are. I kind of named my favorites. I think last week or 2 weeks ago, some receivers that I really enjoyed, and yeah, like you guys are saying right there, man. Troy Franklin was one of them that I talked about a little bit before. I like Troy Franklin a lot from Oregon. Um, a little speedster guy, man. You gotta love the speed. Brendan Rice is a second, third round guy. I feel that, man. So obviously the draft is gonna be exciting, man. I'm just glad that I've gotten more of a feel of college football more and more every year. Since I started YouTube, especially, I started watching college football a couple way before I did YouTube, but it wasn't as it would always be mostly USC games. I was a USC fan growing up at the end of the day, man. I'm a USC fan. So I always watched that. But then college football in general, I started watching it more since I started. Right before I started YouTube, and then now it's been extreme, man. I've been watching a lot of college football, and it's very enjoyable. And I finally got, like I said, I finally got the all 22 of the college film, man. And when I tell you that, I just like watching tape at late night, man. Late night, just watching tape, man. It's interesting, but I have a good resume during the draft, so that's something I could put my hat on. I could put my hat on. But obviously, I can't wait to do them. You feel me? Them videos that I got coming up. Um, it's gonna be interesting. Shout out to everybody, man. And shout out to the ones that watch me without saying anything. I've seen something, I got sent something, and it makes me laugh. I appreciate your support. I appreciate you. You guys know what you are out there, man. You guys usually don't type, but you like saying a lot of things in other chats, and I love it. Hey, I love it, man. Keep my slogans alive, man. I appreciate you. uh, uh, ECG, I got you, bro. DM me ECG. I'll tell you where I got it from. College football is not a pro football. Pro football, there is a big difference. College football is not pro football. There's a big difference. Yeah, no, 100%, 100%. But if there's one thing for sure, man, we could see the potential in some of these guys, man. And if they fall into the right system, they'll look good. But anything you want to add about the draft, man? Any other needs? What you think is our needs? Our top five needs in order. In order.
O line, Jesus.
Goal line.
O line. I wanna O line, quarterback,
Okay.
D tackle.
Okay.
I don't like this corner class, but I want a corner. We need a corner,
I like that
and
one. You don't like
and,
the
and
quarterback class? I like it.
huh?
I said you don't like the quarterback class?
I don't like the corners. I have to dig a little more.
Yeah.
I'm more in the mode of like, hey, we might have to just go ahead and pay a vet, because I like just think about that. Like if we actually get a vet over here and put him on the other side
Mm.
with Jack Jones on the opposite side and Hobbs in the slot, and then a Meek being a reserve, that's a dangerous corner group.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm kind of like, I don't know if I want to trot a rookie out there, because again, I got to dig to to but corner. is definitely one. I said, okay, offensive line, uh, quarterback, defensive tackle, uh, defensive back. I'll say it like that, so we won't get quarter and quarterback mixed up. And then I like our safeties.
Okay. Shout out to OG in the building.
I would say it would be overkill.
Appreciate that, Randy.
Linebacker?
You like linebackers? I have to look into the linebackers now, man. I need to go watch film over them. But just to show you guys real quick, man. You feel me? I got it. Stay tuned for it. You feel me? There's Jaden Daniels right there, your boy right there. Just to show you guys, I got it. It's coming. It's coming soon. Do some videos with this, obviously. So, we go make the most of it. But yeah, no, I agree with you. I think I need to look into the linebackers. I think linebackers they would possibly go in the later rounds. I don't think
Yeah.
they'll go in the first few rounds. But obviously, offensive line, like you said, offensive line, defensive line, the quarterback position, and the wide receiver position, it depends because it's like what you're gonna do with Renfro. Are you gonna actually release him?
Yeah.
And then this whole Devontae fiasco, Devontae's staying. In my opinion, I think Devontae's staying. He might tweak his contract a little. Um, so obviously there's that. Shout out to Eric Raiders Haters Hunter. Shout out to you, man. Erica Channel. Salute Nation. One of my biggest fears is that I look up one day and we have signed Kirk Cousins, killing all of our hopes of upgrading the other positions. Reminisce last year getting JG Raider Nation for life. I don't think we're gonna go Kirk Cousins. We're good, bro. We're
Come
good.
on, Cousins. All right. Hey, but
Yeah.
but we talked about that because I think we talked about that last week. Like what would happen if we addressed everything else in because again there we just talked about our needs, right? We have some offensive lineman needs, right? And it's not just we need an offensive tackle. We need a guard. We may need it depends on what you do with Parham. We may need a center. So that's two or three offensive linemen that we need to address. And then you have defensive tackle. You have, what I'm saying? So there's other things that we can address. So what if we did, and I hate to say it because they lost the Super Bowl, but what if we did what if we did the Niner route where where we stacked up everywhere else and then we just said, okay, Cousins, we got you on a rental. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying he need to be in here for, 5 years, 75 million, like, nah, whatever. Like, no big number contract, but just come in here 1 year and then you can go your way. Just to get us through. What if we did that? I'm not completely for that, but I'm just saying that could be an option where we literally filled out everything. You know what I'm saying? And we sitting real nice. But the only thing is we still, and I'll say it like this, we're still sitting nice because, hey, say if we stacked our whole roster and we put Aiden O'Connell back out there.
Shout out to Raider Ben in the building. It was good, Ben. Good to see you, man. I appreciate that, man. If we get Daniels, go get the center from LSU. I think I'd rather go. Me personally, I said this. I'd rather go veteran offensive line. That's been me. That's been me the whole time. I'd rather go veteran offensive line. But we'll see what happens, right? You said Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is staying with the Jets for one. For two, I don't want Aaron Rodgers. I've been on the non-Aaron Rodgers train for a long time. And he's trying to recruit Devontae Adams to the Jets. It's like, all right, bro, you're not gonna get him, bro. How do I tell you? I like Snead. Which that reminds me, free agency video coming soon, man. It might be either 3 to 5 free agents I'm gonna throw out there that could help us impact the Raiders in a good way. So stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for that. But shout out to everybody, man. Shout out to everybody coming in here, man. If you guys can't hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, man. We're just talking some draft talk right now. Draft combine coming soon. I believe the combine. Let me make sure the dates are right. Give me a second. Monday, February 26th. So in about 11 days. if I'm not mistaken. 11 days from now, I will be doing the combine. It's from Monday, February 26th to March 4th. Wait, why is it longer now? Am I tripping? Oh, wait. My bad. The 29th. The 29th. That's when it starts.
Di-
That's just the whole combine in general, but 29th.
I know I might be jumping the gun, but did Penix say he's going to participate?
Oh, I haven't seen yet. I have to go check. I'm still
Okay.
doing my research on that. Some people are getting invited right now as we speak. So I know
Okay.
some USC players. Shout out to Bullock. Also, shout out to who else got it? I think Marshawn Lloyd. I think one of our running backs got it.
Okay.
Let me double check that actually. I might be having the wrong names. I ain't gonna lie. Let me see. Let me see.
Shout out to Marshawn Lynch this weekend. I'm just saying. Just
Kalen Bullock, yeah.
shout out to Marshawn Lynch for being a real one.
Yeah, he,
I,
he was a
I'll just
savage,
leave
bro.
that there. If you know, you know. Shout out to Marshawn Lynch for being a real one.
Hey, ECG, if there's any possibility, bro, can you send it or can you let me know some people, man? I wanna see who got the full invites and stuff like that. Uh, no one else is getting invited unless of energy. I feel that. Okay, for sure. But yeah, shout out to some of my USC guys, man. Taj Washington, man. Gerald Kingston, the offensive line for us, man. Marshawn Lloyd, Kalen Bullock. Which Kalen, hey, I like that boy. That safety, man. That safety. I like that, man. Um, but yeah, Marshawn Lynch. Shout out to Marshawn Lynch. That was pretty funny what he was doing, bro. If you guys didn't see what he was doing, man, he was going around saying "fuck you" pretty much to every Niner fan that crossed that crossed the casinos. It's crazy. It's crazy, bro. I'll share in chat. Okay, for sure, man. Oh, I appreciate that. Hey, there you go, man. ECG on I think he's on. Yeah, he's on my channel right there, man. Sharing the link of everybody that got invited to the combine. So if you guys want some, man, hey, I appreciate that, ECG, man. I appreciate that. So I'll check that out. Let me actually click it right now, so I have it um, up for me. There we go. For sure. I appreciate that, man. I'm gonna look into it. Um, And hit that like button, y'all. Hit that like button. We got 40 plus in here, man. If you guys can't hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, man. But yeah, we're talking about the draft, man. We got some things upcoming for the both of us and stuff like
Man, I'm
that. Some
excited for
interesting
this
things.
draft.
What have been?
I'm excited for this draft, man.
I'm excited for the draft, which last year, I think I did the first round. I think I did the first round with ECG, if I'm not mistaken. ECG, correct me if I'm wrong. I went with the first round to them. And then the second, third round, I think I did it on my channel. I'm not sure. I'm not fully sure. I forgot how I went. I just passed my scouting exam this morning, by the way. Oh, hell yeah. Congrats, bro. Congrats.
Oh, nice, man.
If you guys don't know who ECG is, man, um, some official pro scout. Hey, there you go, man. Hey, shout out to ECG, man, doing big things over there. Some, if you guys don't know who ECG is, he's been somebody that supported me since he's come on here and stuff like that. And he, if you like college football, if you like football in general, hey, his channel's the way to go, man. He's got a great crew over there. I respect all of them. Been on the panel with a lot of them, and they drop videos every day. You want somebody that's consistent every single day, unlike me, because I'm a part timer. Is ECG, man, every day dropping um some sleepers, stuff like that. So go check it out, man. Go check it out. Highly recommend. Highly recommend. Um, but yeah, but of course, also, man, if you want all your Raider news and stuff like that, you already know where to go, man. Over here, Raider Twuan, you feel me? And SC Raiders talk, you feel me, for all those things. I like offensive tackle at 13 and defensive tackle in second round 44th. You know the little bro. Shout out to you, man. And shout out to everybody coming in here, man. I appreciate you guys for coming in here and fully going. I was late. If you already addressed it, I apologize. But which quarterback would you like to draft other than the first three? So you're talking about other than Caleb, Jaden. I mean, it depends who you think is the first three. Let me know so we can answer your question. Which three you don't think? But yeah. Um, Anything else you wanted to add? I'm trying to think of things. If I missed any Raider news that I haven't talked about.
Man, there's a lot. You know, to be honest with you, there was a whole bunch of stuff that was going on because we were seeing a lot of the media, interviews and stuff like that. Antonio Pierce has been on his campaign. You know what I'm saying? He's been on multiple interviews. Max Crosby has been doing some things. Devontae Adams has done a few things. Um, and they've been active. I, you know, let's. Hey, oh, so did you watch the end of the game? Right? You watched the overtime.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, do you believe that Shanahan didn't know the rules?
I know he knew the rules, bro. There's no way an NFL coach doesn't know the rules, bro. Bro, there's no way an NFL doesn't know about the rules. But shout out to ECG, man. I appreciate that, man. The $20 super chat, man. Supporting the channel. Go buy an In-N-Out burger for your East Coast brother, man. You already know ECG, man. Shout out to you, man. And hey, hopefully soon, man, I get to meet you or whatever, man. Shout out to East Coast Gridiron on that, man. Shout out to you, man. Appreciate that. Appreciate the love, man. Appreciate the love. All love from over here. You already know, man. Tom Pulicero said AP will be aggressive to trade up for quarterback, and I believe it. I believe it too, man. But we're gonna see what happens. But back to, and I appreciate that too. ECG gifted 5 memberships, man. I appreciate that, ECG, man. Showing love, man. I appreciate that. Real talk, man. I appreciate that. Appreciate that. But obviously, for what will definitely be one day, and that's a fact, man. And hopefully for it's like for some football games or something, bro. But shout out to Twuan for being here too, man. And Twuan, to answer your question fully, man, let's be honest, bro. It's an NFL coach. Come on. It's an NFL coach, bro. It's an NFL coach, bro.
That's exactly what I was thinking and saying, like, okay, if anybody on the field is supposed to know the rules, the head coach is supposed to know the rules. So why aren't you knowing the rules, dog? And you gonna use that as an excuse? Cause hey, I'm like I'm you in SoCal, I'm in NorCal, and up here in NorCal, some of these Niner fans, they going off of, oh, our coach, he said he didn't know the rules. Like, come on, dog. If you don't know the rules, don't play. So I'm glad you felt the way that I felt, because that was all cap.
Shout out to East Coast Greater. And I'm gonna check it out, brother. I've been busy with the lot. I haven't been on even Raider lives either, man. But I'm gonna start going around, making my rounds around, and supporting people, bro. I've been very, very busy with certain things. You feel me? If you know, you know. But shout out to ECG, man. I'm gonna check that mock draft out, brother. Once you drop it and stuff like that. But shout out to everybody in here, man. But of course, sucks that what happened in the Super Bowl happened. Regardless, the 2 teams that we absolutely hate were there. Once again, condolences to Kansas City to what happened outside of football. Um, Prayers for the families over there. It's a tragic thing, man. I hate to see that. Uh, I've been traveling. It's all good for show, for show. And Eric finally said, he said Williams, May, and Daniels. So besides them, who I like. Let me go back to your question, so I just have that specific.
I just subscribed to ECG.
Oh, there you go, man. Shout out to Twuan right there. I was late if you would need it addressed, but I apologize. But which quarterback would you take to the draft in the first 3? Okay, so now I got it. Besides Williams, May, and Daniels. I liked Michael Penix, but Michael Penix is injury prone, man. That injury really cost him, but he had heart, man. He had heart. He might be going the later rounds. It would be Bo Nix. I mean, I'm not a big fan of Bo Nix, but off of William Mays and Daniels would be Bo Nix, maybe. I'm just trying to think. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard. I think Bo Nix. I think Michael Penix. I think. You know who's been getting a lot of buzz recently? That kind of reminds me, and Randy said it right now. JJ McCarthy. Apparently, some scouts have him at number 1, like the first round guy. JJ McCarthy has been picking up steam. JJ McCarthy is an interesting prospect. That would be another one that's kind of interesting prospect. He said Eric was piping down in the hotel jacuzzi yesterday. What the fuck? Uh, but JJ
Hey,
McCarthy, obviously. Oh yeah, go ahead.
no, I was gonna ask because I'm still trying to figure that part out. So the Shrine Bowl, right? The Shrine Bowl is those are people that are coming out, right?
Yeah, they're also in the draft. Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because I was okay. So the reason why, because I was tripping out, because there's a quarterback that I'm about to say that I like. Um, in the that was in the Shrine Bowl, and then I went to PFN to see if I could mock draft that quarterback, and that quarterback wasn't on their list,
Okay,
and the person was Tua's brother.
okay.
So Talir, I don't want to mess up his name, but it's Tua's brother. Tua's brother was playing really well. I thought I liked his game in the Shrine Bowl, and I was gonna try to dive in a little deeper to see what's been up with him because he actually looks pretty good. He's I think he's actually a right. He's not a lefty like his brother. He's actually a right-handed quarterback, but he has the mobility and everything.
Yeah, I haven't fully looked yet on him specifically, so I can't really comment on him.
Yeah.
But I'll check him out. I'll check him out. Right now I'm trying to get position by position. Right now, I think I'm at. I watched some Jaden Daniels. I watched Caleb. I think
Mm.
I'm watching Bo Nix now. I think I'm not sure. I already went through Drake May and stuff like that, and all those people. So we're gonna see what happens. But obviously, like I said earlier, y'all. If y'all didn't know, the Raiders did end up getting a Pierce's son. Also, they hired James Craig, which is the assistant offensive line coach for the Niners, and also LSU. Is now the offensive line coach. Um, and our staff is looking pretty well. Also, guys, like I said, to just end everything off, man, the combine right around the corner. I'll be live for every single day. Also, free agency next month, and also the draft in 2 months. I believe. So those are things that are upcoming and multiple videos coming soon. I'm gonna start doing videos because I know I'm only doing like one live a week, so might as well put some videos in between. But besides that, also stay tuned for some interesting videos as well. So that's on my half. Hit that like button if you're in general, and if you're new, hit that subscribe button. But Twan, talk to me, man. What you got coming up? Videos, lives, where they can find you.
So I just dropped a couple of projects. I actually dropped a video. Go ahead and go to Raider Twuan. That's the name of the channel. Go to Raider Twuan. The video is called Raiders Only. Go ahead and check that out. Let me know what you think. Put it down in the comment section. Also, I gave you my thoughts, my initial thoughts on our offensive coordinator, Luke Getsy, and you'll see that. Obviously, it'll say Luke Getsy, and all that stuff. So definitely go down into Raider Twuan, check out all the stuff, click the like button on some stuff, and flood the comment section. And I'm actually a couple away from couple of subscribers away from 300. So if you have not, come on over and support by subscribing to Raider Twuan. I already dropped the other stuff about my IG. Also, content creators, if you are interested in having someone join your panel, or just having someone to join your live to have some Raider discussion, you can always hit me up. Again, best way to hit me up is on IG. So hit me up on IG, or if you even hit me up on YouTube, just say, hey, I got a show, and we'll try to connect. So I'm open to networking with everybody that's talking this good football. So
Shout out to Randy, man. I'll be here. I'll still recovering from a shoulder surgery. Oh shit. Hey, prayers for you, man. Hopefully, it gets healed back good, and hopefully it went well. And hey, I appreciate you for just tuning in, man. Even through that, man. I appreciate that. Real talk. But yeah, hey, hope the recovery goes well, man. Goes well. You already know it's all love here, man. And then shout out to El Capitan Rafucho, man, for the 199 ECG, for the 5 gifted, and also for the $20, man. I appreciate you. And then this is the interesting, guys. This is the fun part of the off season coming soon, man. Coming soon. So it's gonna be exciting. I'm excited for these things, man. I'm always excited every season, man, for these things. And it's time, man. It's time. It's time, Raiders, man. And it's looking like it's time, man. It's time to finally go back to our identity and what the Raiders stand for, man. And it starts off with the coaching, the ownership, the organization, and it's so far building from up top. Now it's going to the personnel, the people, the players. And that's where the draft and free agency comes in, man. Stay tuned for the video, y'all. The videos are coming soon. I'm gonna talk about some 3 to 5 free agents that could change the Raiders. Also other things as well. As far as the draft goes, draft profiles, you feel me? And once again, shout out. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Raider Twuan gonna be coming out with some shorts. If y'all been watching my little shorts and stuff, I got one for the Niner gang. So if y'all haven't seen that one, go check out what I've been doing with the Niner gang. But shorts is popping at Raider Twuan. And shout out to the congregation. Love y'all, congregation.
Just win, baby. That's what it's about, SoCal Sound. Shout out to everybody, man. You already know what it is, man. We appreciate the love and support, y'all. And next week, same time, same place, Thursday, 2:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Go ahead.
Hey, for those Valentine people, you know what I'm saying, Valentine's Day, the candy is discounted. You know what I'm saying? Go and get your girl some discounted candy.
I heard. Hey, there you go. There you go. And shout out to everybody, man. You already know what it is, man. Um, and yeah, shout out to all the people out there that are pushing my content other places. You know, when you think you're trolling or whatever the case may be, you know, you're kind of helping me. So keep doing it. I appreciate it. I really do appreciate it. So shout out to all the love and support, though, man. Until next time, y'all. This was the SC Raiders Talk and your boy Raider Twuan, man. Hey, the 2 for 1 Nation podcast, man. Until next time, y'all. Next week, 2:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 5:30 p.m. Eastern on a Thursday, and the combine right around soon. We are out. Peace.
Is the will to win. Is the will to win.
Your commitment to